Part 3 of Daily 635. Let's hop into this game. Talking a lot about movement patterns and expanding patterns and all that good jazz. All that goody goodness. See, a move like this, and then a cutting left like this, can open up an opportunity to expand to a location like this. Now, if the intended retreat path is straight south, this is also great. If the intended retreat path is straight south, then this is a horrific position to go to. We've been seeing more and more Zergs really go muta nuts. Just flood with a crap ton of mutalisks, doing things like rushing up and sniping a mine and pulling back. Largely because of the way that it can reposition a Terran player like this. Terran truly has to bring the whole show home to be able to keep this alive. Late expansion, late, very bad Curious. This is fine, this is good. Infestation pit timing, like it. Dumped all his resources into getting his opponent out of position. But now, if he can get the Infesta and the expansion, he's in good shape. These sorts of tactics are wonderful, but none of it has any meaning whatsoever in the slightest unless additional bases are being acquired. Innovation's doing, you know, the reasonable move. Hold units, buy the expansion that you want to take. Nice! The only reason this is great for Innovation right now is that there's pretty clearly not a big expansion or tech push from Curious. Curious is really not trying to do some clear, big, large-scale infrastructure developments, so that's totally fine for Innovation to keep this back. He knows he's probably going to be up against just more Mutalisks. Now, note, all the way up here in this base, expansion goes down here. What does that mean? Mutalisks are likely going to be pulling more towards the left in order to be able to expand safely. Oh, look at that wonderful infestation pit. So let's play the everyone's favorite game, Identify the Risky Maneuver. Yeah, there it is. I found it. I found the risky one. Moving all the way down here when we have an important expansion up here. Oh! But Curious gets it. Expanding to the bottom right because of the harassment he will do down on the south side. Oh, yeah. If Curious were intending on doing that, I would prefer for this expansion to actually be like here, or maybe even up here. If we're really going to dedicate to spreading out the bases, let's dedicate to spreading out the bases, man. Look at how delightfully safe this expansion is. I love that so much. I absolutely love it. This is kick-ass. These tactics are kick-ass. The amount of things to talk about is not nearly as kick-ass, because we're focusing on the expansion and the base snatching and such assorted awesomeness is. When you stay at home, easy to defend us expansions. And we can see pretty clearly. You see pretty clearly what happens. Actually, we're just going to see exactly what went down here. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so Innovation is doing all this action. He's clearly hanging out a bit, trying to just secure some watchtowers. He's playing on the defensive side of things. He sees where the Mutalisks are. He's trying to continue to shove them back. And then when this happens, look at these units. They literally are dashing here. Dashing, I tell you. Not even scanning. Simply saying, aha, killed banelings here. Go! Great identification maneuver from Innovation. If I were in Innovation's shoes here, I would not do this normally. Actually, I don't think Innovation would do it either. It's the fact that all those banelings died off here gave Innovation a clue that his opponent was actually not about to roll on in with banelings to the expansion. So this is sort of a mess situation for Curious. He's got this expansion down here with nothing really to protect it. He's got a couple burrowed Zerglings lurking about, a couple burrowed banelings, which I love burrowed banelings. Primarily for spectator value. Oh, there's more burrowed banelings over there. Might be the worst spectator of all time. And now, only now, am I really like, yeah, it's such a good, safe expansion. Gas geysers aren't even up in it. I think it makes sense, actually, for Curious to... It's so good by innovation. I'm almost imagining the armies just gently, like, corralling each other in. Gently shoving back. See, they want to head up here, but gently shoving it now, cutting left to gently push it down. Why pushing it down gently? Why cut left? Because it protects this expansion. Do you get it? Look, he's moving left. Oh, he's going to protect the expansion. Ooh, yeah. Scans. Does he really want to pull back? He's got to do it kind of slowly and carefully. This attack that is probably going to happen here does mean that this is a safe base. Okay, cool. And once he's in position here, yeah, that's when we see all the other forces move out. Terran players who are excellent are actually pretty cautious. They do these like scoop and sweep and rearrange and move around and all that good stuff. Very gently make their way forwards. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Standard battlage. Standard killing stuffage. Ooh. Rather non-standard mine. Is this the big blast radius mines? I don't think it actually tells you what the radius is. Oh, that's right. It still is the big one. Oh, he's pushing up on in. Doesn't say much about our expanding, but I think this is still a useful moment. I mean, that was largely just a micro in positioning, and the fact that the Mutalisks, wherever they are, just ate it big. Where are my mutas at? Yeah. Ooh, you guys got hurt. But this goes to show two important things, that as innovation is shoving down here, he's still trying to take a base. And even though Curious lost this one, he set himself up for this nice, juicy expansion. Safely, I will add. It was vulnerable for a little while, but now it is safe. This is one of the riskiest maneuvers in the whole wide world. This is the riskiest thing in the universe.
Our SCVs are under attack.
So Innovation even knows about this base here. That's riskiest stuff ever. Okay, now watch. Watch this. Okay, yeah, it's getting killed off. When this base dies, there's nothing wrong with running some of our units over this way to protect it. There's nothing wrong with having our Mutalisk sweep down up along this flank. I'll actually briefly pull back to this moment. Doink. When everything's dying at this expansion, this Mutalisk pack, if this Mutalisk pack goes this way and more forces go this way, then we have a safe expansion again. But of course, because Innovation, look at this, pulls back to his nexus, and pulls back to his command center and then attacks there. This is one of the big reasons why Terrans like to expand sort of nearby their attack areas, and especially close to the rest of their bases. Zerg can kind of do these disparate base things because they have such fast units, but this is what's super nice. But watch this play. This is cool. It's not good, but it's cool. Okay, Curious is in growth shape. Takes this, easy base to take. It's on his left side of the map. He's got control of it. He's got all his units in the way. And we're sort of seeing that early in the game, you heard me talk. You know, especially remember when these bases were innovations? Where did I say was a great place for the Mutalisk to be? Right here? Or in this region? Actually, let me just draw like a banana here. Like this region was where the Mutalisks were in good shape to be. Because most of the forces would be here to protect the expansions here. So I actually want to go through that more explicitly. Here's our key base is Zerg. Here's where the bases of Terran is. Therefore, Terran's army will most generally be right there. So Mutalisks over here makes sense to apply pressure because we kind of know where the army is going to be. What's different right now? Why are Mutalisks not coming up here? Well, there's no expansion there. There's no threat. And most of the Terran army is here. So the fact that we're piling our units up here defends this well. So important to consider those three factors. His army, my new base, his existing bases. Actually, the primary two are his existing bases, my new base. Because that sort of defines where his army is going to be. So as we hop into this game... Pretty clear he's positioning target, but not. Hitting myself some plus buttons, plus, hitting the D button. Because I want to hit the D. Here's a sweet little move. Oh yeah. Running up top. Why is this okay? Because of that. Protecting it. Normally this would be a little riskier to get too deep into the base. We have our defensive tools. Medevac starting in, no problem. Get our forces up in there. Doing some nice damage, picking some stuff off, holding this. Wow. This is just a nice late game transition that we see out of more and more Zergs lately. A lot of mutas, and then Ultra Infester and de-emphasizing the Ling Baneling. Mutas are like the do stuff force. And we see innovation slowly scooping stuff back. Ooh. And a standard confrontation. We actually just have deep respect for everyone here because we see this army drawing a line, and great, these bases are safe. We see this army, we draw a line, yeah, great, these bases are safe. Especially this one and this one. Nice. Nice. Ooh. Getting the goop on. Oh my god, 50% off goop on. Gonna have ourselves a standard battle, but loved all the positioning and repositioning and all that stuff leading up to it. We get to see the Ultra Infester Mutalist combo being really good. Hurt Bringing gets brought down. I'm going to go ahead and speed things up because I just have to end the show. Gotta leave time for questions. I think there's nothing too notable coming up with the expansions. Oh, yeah. This expansion down here, this is super risky because we have absolutely nothing preventing units from walking right on over here. I know we can see most of the units here, but that's still not the greatest justification. Still watch this, watch. Alright, so innovation. Manages to best this force of Curious. In the army supply tab, we see the innovation still has a pretty decent amount of stuff. He's really low on workers. That's really where his supply deficit comes from so strongly. But this was looking like a done game. Good place for Curious to be attacking because of this expansion up here. This would be a kind of a scary place for Curious to attack at all because his expansion's at the far other side. Alright, where does the big money moment happen? Yeah. By the way, I think this is... I'm actually not even giving enough credit to this moment for being interesting. This is a really interesting key part. This looks like dangerously naked expansion, nearly dying innovation. What does Curious do? Oh, well, he just cleans up here, and then he goes and kills that off. Not exactly. Imagine for a moment a Zerg army right here in this region. Going in to kill off this base, and even applying a threat to that one. This expansion is completely isolated out on its own. So what does Zerg do about this? Small attacks can't be most of the units. It has to be really tiny, and another good choice here is always to take this base. If we have to defend this one, we're going to have to defend this one too, so. I know we saw this part too. Skipping ahead. There is an amazing moment coming up in this game. Oh yeah, single drone was actually enough to repel it. Curious is, you know, rebuilding infestors, rebuilding wings. Has 48 drones, feeling good about himself. Getting his Mutalists in a more of the north side position so he can harass and be aware of this incoming push. When does this cool moment happen? I remember it happened somewhere in the latter half of the game. I don't remember much else about it. Yeah, oh, here we go. This has got to be it. Yeah, there it is. Nidus Worm. Moving up on in. Where's the Nidus Network at? There it is. Not a great place for a Nidus Network, but if we throw down another Nidus Worm there, then that is excellent. However, no. Oh. Everything dies so hard. Risky maneuvers, not paying off well. Risky maneuvers, paying off poorly. So what's nice about Curious's position is that he's locked down these bottom bases. He knows there's nothing there. I mean, sure, this one is here. He would like to be able to do an attack here, but he can't really. But if Curious can just secure the bases up here and deny the 3 bases down here, he's in good shape. So he's more than content to play a more defensive, controlling sort of role. Attacks and drops galore. Mutilous harassment, nice. Feels panicked, pulls back. Nope, decides to go back in. Good stuff. All options that are available because he's attacking close to where his bases are. So where should Curious attack? Well, he can potentially attack this. He just needs to lock down on those bottom bases. But most importantly, he should probably be attacking this area right here, just because it's closest to also defending those bases. GG. Alright, let's take a question. Let's take a lot of questions. Subscribers off. So we got a chance to blast through some games, didn't talk a lot about build orders, didn't talk a lot about yeah, we didn't talk a lot about build orders or compositions or even particularly a lot about micro, but it was a lot of expansion related thingies. Entity 97 says, what happens when you kill a Nidus network full of units? I think the units just die. I think they're just gone forever. Foxy Mop asked me how the weather is in LA. I think it's slightly chilly. Red997 said that, asked about the fact that I had nukes and battlecruisers in the comment. This is actually what I heard about these games. And that's when I created the daily description. And then I forgot to update the daily description after I looked. That is totally my bad, and I'm sorry about that. I need to change that back. Forgive me. Oh... Let's see here. Complexity's asking my eyeballs are today. Very good. I've been very gentle on my left eyeball. It's feeling good. Once again, I had a course of Accutane as a child, and it has really, really dried out my eyes. My left one's been giving me a whole bunch of problems. Alright, so Conspark says the current TVZ metagame seems limited to both Biomine and Ling Baneling Mute, at least at high levels. Why do we hardly see Big Mech or Ultra Swarm Host focused strategies or other such things? I mean, it's honestly just because, like, mines are amazing. Like, mines are so good in this game. I mean, Marine's biggest damage output unit for... It's like the best bang for your buck unit in the game, as far as I'm concerned. Marine is just sickeningly good. Has vulnerabilities to things like Banelings. Done! Got the mines. Yes, Marauders kind of fix that. It's just like... It's like the perfect composition. Got to control well, but too good. Ling Baneling Muta, I would describe as the only thing that really seems to be able to beat Biomine. Certainly you can go Ling Roach Baneling and do like okay with it. But Terran players are getting pretty good about just dishing in a few tanks, or just straight containing, or continuing with biomine. I would love to see some more tank stuff. I'm not going to claim to know exactly how rebalancing stuff should function. I actually would probably not do things different to Zerg. I'd probably, if I changed anything, be making adjustments to Terran, because I think the big core lies in just how good biomine is. And you might say, hey, I want to try Infester. No, man. How are you going to pick off the mines? How are you going to deal with the drops with this mega speed boosted medevacs? Those things are quite hard. Trying to think of what else. Mines are just so good. Those units are so good. Swarm hosts will never be good against Terran, as far as I'm concerned. Like, never, ever, ever. Against Bio, that is. They will never be good because of the fact that you can run away from them so easily. And the locusts are like, come back. And swarm hosts are like, I have a huge, big, bloated butt cheek on their back. Ejects insects and whatnot. Burrow, and things start crawling out and just like float away again. So Terran. Captain Platypus asked what the glorious music from the breaks is. It's Toe Jam and Earl from Genesis. Toe Jam and Earl. Eloy just says, real question. Should I make Widow Mine tunneling claws an upgrade priority? I would most significantly research, or get the reactor first. Big numbers of mines are much better than fast burrowing of mines. Alright, last question. From Honodiram. Day 9, is Broodlord not a viable choice in that last game's late game scenario? I don't like Broodlords as much. They're just not very mobile. And the biggest issue with Biomine is how mobile it is. Just medevacs darting all over everywhere and mines. And they run away and stuff. Yeah, I don't think so. I just don't think they're that great. If you can get like sort of a smaller map where there's much more of like a path to go along, then I'm on board. But on an open map like Frost, that's the show. Done. See you tomorrow for Half-Life and some other game. Show's over.